Okay, so we're just going to go through the checklist for the building application and development application post-contract variation. So first of all, we're just going to put in the job number, which for this one is 12 GOT, which is 12 Gotha Street. Now I've got this information from Data Build. This is the job number here for 12 Gotha Street, which I've been asked to do a BA PCV for. Okay, so this is done once we have received in the construction folder for 12 Gotha Street, we have received a contract for this one. So we have a signed contract, and I'm just going through, I'm looking in the signed contract and seeing that we used this set of plans for the contract, and that was how we priced the job. So I've just saved those drawings here. Now this was actually priced for a different job, so there's going to be a fair bit of comparison to do just to make sure that the client has paid for everything. We then have the specification, so that's what they've actually included in this job. Now usually the BA PCV is to capture any documents that we haven't received from at contract stage. So this is just a small summary of the items that we need to review. So now that we have certification or BA for this, we'll be able to go through and apply a cost to each of these items. So first up, we just need to have a look and see if there's any additional glazing or insulation requirements. So we have an energy efficiency report here. So if we just open this report, we'll be able to see what is required for this house. So the first point is we require R2.5 bulk insulation to the ceiling space above the dining and garage level. So this is our current plans. We've got the construction stamp, and we've obtained them from the job and the specifications, colours and selections. They have CC at the end of them. That's for construction copy. So these ones are our final version that we should be going with to compare. Okay, so for this, we normally allow ceiling insulation, and in this report we've been asked the dining area and garage. So the dining area and garage. So what we'll do is insulation R2.5 dining garage. Okay, let's see if there's any more in the report that we need to do. Now we don't standardly add R1.5 to the ceiling void. For the alfresco. Now I'll just create new line items for this because there is quite a few items here to be added. Now the reflective foil wall wrap we do as standard, and the R1.5 bulk insulation to 90mm is standard as well. So that's fine. And they've just noted that insulation is not required under the suspended floor, which is just through this section here, so that's fine. Okay, so we've made notes of that. There is no additional glazing requirements on here. And we need to ensure that there's a ceiling fan to the outdoor area. So we can review that by going into the job, into quotes, into electrical, and just double checking that this electrical quote has a ceiling fan to the outdoor living, so that's fine. So we'll continue to go through the report. Again, we'll need to upgrade the insulation to the ceiling because that is not as standard. Okay, so that's everything that we needed to cover in the energy efficiency. Now we need to review the square meterage of the house. So we've got Bluebeam open here. This was the job that was initially quoted. Now if we total up the internals, so we've got the ground floor at 90, the garage at 36, first floor at 142, the outdoor area at 25, and this porch is actually just an external area, so that's 293. So then if we compare that one, 136, 139 plus 44, so we've got a larger house, 319. Okay, so with that, the client will need to pay extra in terms of the difference between the floor area. So we'll just note on here that the difference is 26 square metres. We'll need to calculate that. Then what we need to do is, it's very challenging with this particular job to do an overlay of the pages in Bluebeam because it is a completely different floor plan. So I'll just show you how to do that anyway. So we've got these two jobs in both on the floor plan, so we'll overlay these pages. So it's going to be very difficult to overlay these pages like this. Normally they would line up together. So we'll probably just have to manually compare this one. But we do have an idea that there's a big difference. So I'll just put not applicable to that one. Privacy screens relate to DA. So we'll just see. Now I believe for this particular job we don't have the BA back yet. So we'll just leave that one to be confirmed. Same with bushfire. Don't have certified feedback because that relates to the BA. That will be not applicable as it's not on a main street. Check spec exclusions. So for this particular one, if we go into the contract documents, I'll just grab a copy of this because we should have one in this folder. Okay, so the exclusions in this job. Now this was one of our Lancon Express, so there will be price dependent on modelling and cost of the house on the block by a design team to ensure it complies with building guidelines. So all of this house needs to be confirmed. Now we've got no fence on the right hand side included. So just review the plans. There is no gatehouse, and I can see from the floor plans that there is no skylight, so they're all fine. Now we'll just double check on James Hardy website to ensure that the plans actually match the different profile for the cladding. So on this variation, the client has requested back of garage and rear of house to be stringer. So the only concern is ceiling heights are to be 6 meters, 1.6 meters upstairs and 3 to lower living. I just need to check that that matches, which it does. Okay, so that's okay. So the site survey requirements has already been ascertained by the construction manager. As it doesn't require an ident survey, so that one's not required. We do require pin footings. We've got the engineering back, and that shows that we do actually have piers, so we will need to mark those ones out for site. The boundaries on this one, we do have some points to be marked off of that we can work off of, but we'll just double check that with the construction manager, so we'll just put that as required. The spec, the bill of quantities was actually copied for a standard job for this one, so we know that that is UOQ, but that's fine. Engineering tender versus construction. So in this particular job, what was included was just the base price. So now we just need to review everything that is not included in the base price for this house. So that will be everything that's on the engineering that we don't standardly include. So we need to charge for all the drop edge beams. They're obviously not included as standard. Any of our piers, step downs, the alfresco slab will not be included, and we'll just review all of those points and pop in a price. Again, these areas we will just have to mark as to be confirmed until we've got more information back from the certifier. So now what we'll need to do is just go through data build and pop prices next to all of these items, and then put in a completion name, so that would just be my name or your name, and then a completion date, so we know how much has been done. This particular one has been requested to be done a little bit early, but normally we would wait until we had actually all of the certifier feedback as well. So we'll have to review this again in a couple of weeks' time. So with this one, we'll just go File, Save As. We'll go into construction because this is a current job, into current jobs, into 12 Gotha, and then we save all of these in the variations. So this is just the BA PCV checklist for 12 GOT.